look, that's a terrible thing. Go for it.
So what is an art gallery mean?
So what's happened because it's become such an international market? An international market meaning that I need my artists, and my artists need to have shows in Dusseldorf. They need to have shows in LA. They need to have shows in Hong Kong. So I'm in Miami. Who's going to come to Miami and see what critics, curators, collectors are going to come to Miami? Not many. More now than they did 34 years ago, but not many. So what has happened in the generation of this gallery over the last 34 years is that there are art fairs. And an art fair is essentially a trade show. It's essentially the same idea as a trade show where a convention center is rented by someone, by some entrepreneurial, profit-making entity who says, okay, we're going to put together this fair, we're going to promote whatever galleries come in, rent little booths, just like the home show. And so we rent a booth within their fair, and we set up shop. And it's usually over a weekend. And we bring our works, we select what, and then collectors, curators, other dealers, the art world, and the rest of the world are invited to those art fairs to look at work and to buy and sell it. So these fairs have become heavily vetted. So vetted meaning that you, very much like the way you would get chosen to be represented in this gallery, we get chosen to be in the fair. So you can't just rent a space. The home show, I can go take a booth in the home show tomorrow. For Art Basel, Switzerland, you send them an application, you send them all of the artists that you want to represent, you send them the philosophy of the gallery, you send them the history of the gallery, you send them all the CDs, and they pick 300 galleries out of the thousands of art galleries in the world, and that's Art Basel.
It's kind of like a law school application. You submit all your stuff with all of the different aspects that you have about you that you think would be supportive to your case, and then the whole review committee selects a few students out of the masses, and then you get into school or an art fair.
Laura's my director, associate, she runs the show here. Or sure. Forget, I changed her name all the time.
And had a good sense not to apply to law school.
Right. Yeah, so I mean, but the cachet of a particular art fair is the difference. For example, during Art Basel Miami Beach Week, there are 20 other fairs here. Those 20 other fairs here would be the same, are not as vetted, don't have the same statute and cachet, and so everybody kills to get into Art Basel because that's where all the collectors are going to go. That's where it's going to happen. And the others sort of just are there to catch whatever falls off. And they do very well. Very much the same as if you open a gallery next door to me in Wynwood and call some artist and just, oh, this work looks nice and I'll sell it. People will buy it and you will have a business. But you're not going to be on that first tier. So with that?
So we've talked about internet, we've talked about doing art fairs, doing exhibitions in your gallery, right? Okay. How do you introduce the new artist's work to the stable of collectors?
There's a relationship that we have a relationship with our artists, and we have a relationship with museums, and we have a relationship with collectors. Collectors exist on many levels. There are very, very big collectors who are almost like museums. So in town we have 3 or 4, and you should go and visit all of them. The Revell family collection is down the block. Margulies collection is down the block. Dela Cruz is around the corner. So they're all very, very wealthy people who've been collecting for a long time. They have international collections. And we have relationships with them because we know them all for 25 years. So they, at the level that they're at, they have much more clout than I do, much more weight than they do. And so they're sort of, again, this first tier. It's almost as good to get a work sold to rebel as it is to get it sold to the Museum of Modern Art. In fact, the Museum of Modern Art doesn't have much of a budget to buy new work. It'll take donations, but they don't really, a lot of major museums anymore don't have budgets. So the way art gets into a museum is through collectors. Collectors buy the work from the dealer, keep it in their collection, and at some point donate it to the museum. So, and there's always a financial benefit in there. So nobody's doing this for free. There's no collector. If they're a collector and they tell you that they don't have a financial interest, they're lying. So they want to buy this work for $800, and they want to hold it for 10 years, and they want to donate it to the Museum of Modern Art for $100,000. That's what they want to do. And if they tell you they don't want to do that, so buy low, sell high. They don't usually sell, but that's the strategy. There are also younger collectors. So the other thing that I think is important and valuable for you guys, not so much you artists, because you're not going to have any money, but
These days, not lawyers.
no, but eventually, I'm sure that'll turn around. Don't worry. My daughter's a lawyer, so I got it. I think it's very important that you understand that for a variety of reasons,